the picture thing that I did. The RPG characters I found in Japan. I'm just saving this list real quick. All right, I got it pulled up. All right, so I'm just basically gonna go from picture to picture, and like I said, this was me just looking for names of RPG characters, and then what I did was I just superimposed that RPG character's image into the portrait. So you'll see stuff like this. The first one is I think that there was additional letters here, but I saw Lux and I was like, oh yeah, Lux, like from Seventh Saga. So I've got one of the characters from Seventh Saga. I added him to this picture. So that's kind of how this is gonna go as far as pictures are in Japan. So yeah, I just kind of looked for names that I recognized, and then I just took a snapshot of that name, and then I added the RPG character to it afterwards. So you've got, oh, actually this is just a whole bunch of amiibos. So there's a few RPG characters in here. I went amiibo hunting. I found the amiibos I wanted. So you see like Robin and Lucina. I actually probably need a couple of those. I have Roy, but I was looking for like characters like Joker and whatnot. Atelier stuff and Ease. Like this is all just random RPG pictures. Atelier Mari. I think it's a beach towel. This is not an RPG. This is just a transformer, so don't mind that. Here's a picture of Gobi from Breath of Fire. They didn't spell it the same way, but you know what? It is what it is. You know, he kind of has the same coloring of Gobi, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll take that picture. You've got Magu. This is a type of candy, you know, like the Magu character from Breath of Fire. I did a really bad superimposing picture. I couldn't find any any pictures that didn't have the white background of Mogu online. So unfortunately, not all of the pictures are gonna look like this, but you know, I could only do what I found online. There was a elevator. It had the Cena Cafe, and of course, you know, John Cena was hanging out. I kind of wanted to take this picture, and just like leave it blank because, you know, just sometimes John Cena is invisible. That's also not an RPG unless he's in WrestleQuest, which I haven't played. I'm not sure if he's in WrestleQuest. You got Valimar. This was a figurine. I was very close to buying Valimar. This is from the Trails of Cold Steel series. But instead I found the Gepessant. The Gepessant. The Super Robot Wars model instead. Of course, we were just talking about Glenn. Here is Glenn in his natural habitat, Mr. Herfrog himself. Guess Pence. Thank you, Tam. Yes, Guess Pence. There's Frog, there's a Frog, and then there's Glenn. Here's Etna's fashion socks. Etna from Disgaea. There's no real like PG like pictures of Etna. She's very scantily clad. But it's okay. She's got no boobs, so you know, I guess she can get away with it. You've got the androids hanging out. Like this was like a little pop out. I almost bought. You've got some Dragon Ball Z figurines. They had Great Saiyaman, one of my favorite characters. This is a Flash image right there. You know, one of my favorite DC characters who I think the only RPG I can think of that Flash has been in is like DC Online. But hey, RPG, so it counts. You've got Heat right here. So you've got the Digital Devil Saga character named Heat. And you also got the Heat logo, which I just threw on there. Again, like I said, I'm just looking for random. I think this was up in the roof somewhere, like up in like the pipelines of one of the trains that I was in. You've got Dio. There was so many cool figurines that I found. I just didn't have the money to buy them all. This was the Dragon Quest bar that we went to in Japan. So they had a whole bunch of coasters, and I think I showed you some of the coasters that I took home. I don't have all of them, but yeah, we drank there for a little bit, and we grabbed a pretty good amount of them. Here is the inner Flora, and we have Flora from Fire Emblem, and this is apparently this is Flora from Dragon Quest. That's not how she looks in my Dragon Quest, but that's the artwork for her apparently. So that's the inner Flora. We have the dual Floras hanging out. This was some of the wallpaper at the Dragon Quest bar. Just pretty cool looking. More Dragon Quest stuff. There was a lot of cool Dragon Quest slimes just hanging out. Lots of slimes. So we have the treasure slime. We've got the little the metal slime. We've got the slime knight. They're so cute. I wanted to take all of these, but a lot of these weren't for sale. You've got these are cookies and like different delicacies that you could eat. Liquid metal slime. Thank you, Tam. Yes, liquid metal slime. Dragon Quest sword that was on display at the bar. Another sword. One of these is like the Luminary sword, and the other one was one of the main character swords. And they have TVs that are showing different like trailers of Dragon Quest games. Yeah, Erdrick's sword. Yes. Dragon Quest treasures. This is Demon Slayer, so not RPG related. I just threw this in here. You got your Dark Souls. Just main character. Kind of just lounging around. The fluted armor, apparently. This is pretty cool. This is almost something. There was just so much that I wanted to buy. I didn't have the luggage space or the money to buy everything that I saw. There's the Fit Ness, but yeah, Ness from Earthbound on a treadmill. Gotta love it. Like I said, I had a lot of fun just taking these pictures. What's her name from Elden Ring? The first one was from Dragon Quest 4 through 6. Nice, Tam. Thanks for pointing that out. This is Misela. Is that her name? Mishaela? Something like that from Elden Ring. Probably the hardest boss in the game. Super annoying to fight. Really cool fight. She's got two forms. Both are annoying. Melania? Is that her name? Okay. I'm definitely forgetting it. Whatever it is. She's super annoying, but she's super fun fight. Once you beat her, it's very gratifying. But yeah, they had different figurines. How much? I didn't ship anything. I just everything that I bought, I just stuffed into my luggage. So I didn't even ask how much it was to ship stuff. Urza from Fairy Tail. Also, Tam, help me out. Is that Lancer? Yeah, it is. It says right there. Lancer from the Fate Stay series. Speaking of Fate Stay, you've got Arthur right there. You've got a really cool box set for Fire Emblem Engage and Atelier Mari. Saber, Artoria. That's right, not Arthur. She's the reincarnation of Arthur, but Artoria. Yeah, I got it. I haven't watched a lot of Fate Stay, so Forgive me for not saying the correct verbiage for that series. You've got the Enna Sweet Hotel, and if anyone's played Fire Emblem, this is Enna from that. I know zero about Fate's Stay. Thanks, Tam. Hey, I think, but you got it right. Saber. You're right. It's Saber. This is actually where we stayed at in Korea, in South Korea, in Seoul. So like right when I saw that, I was like, "Yep, I know, I recognize that name." You've got the Hannah VIP Club, Hannah from Fire Emblem. Not is it? It's one of the Fire Emblems on the Fire Emblem Fates. Thanks, Tim. Yeah. The animes are great, especially the spin-off stuffs like Carnival Phantasm and Prism Ilia. I need to get into it. I've only watched a couple episodes. All the Fire Emblem heroes on a banner, which is really cool. You've got that's Robin. I'm not sure who that is. You've got Roy, you've got Ike, you got Marth, Lucina, you've got Chrom, I think, and then Robin. I'm trying to think who that is. I can't. It's someone with white hair. Is it Corin on both sides? Okay. Thought it was Robin, but yeah, I think you're right. There's the, like I said, I try to like put the characters in front of their, like if there's like their names are like longer. I just did Mia from Fire Emblem. So like it said something longer than Mia, and I just put her in front of the part that didn't matter. So it just showed the Mia. You've got the Mist hair essence. So Mist from Fire Emblem. She said, "Try me out. Don't try her. She's underage." You've got the Ace guitar straps. So Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0. You've got this is the Final Fantasy Cafe that was out there. We didn't actually go up there because everyone there was people that wanted to go to the Dragon Quest Cafe. No one wanted to go to the Final Fantasy one. You've got the Sync from Final Fantasy Type 0. I have a couple Type 0 characters because you've got 8. Just a store named 8, and of course this store is dedicated to 8 from Final Fantasy Type 0. You've got the 3 Gil, and then it's just, you know, the monetary piece from Final Fantasy. That's 8. Yeah, it's 8 feet. Yeah, you're right. Not just 8. You've got the Aloe Vera King, and of course you've got King just hanging out by his drink because, you know, he's king and whatnot. You've got the Kirin design, and I've got the different Kirins from Final Fantasy. You got Kirin from Final Fantasy 6, Kirin from Final Fantasy 11, and I'm actually not sure what this Kirin design is from, which Final Fantasy this Kirin is from, but when I pulled up Kirin in Final Fantasy, this image came up, and I thought it was a cool design, so I threw that on the picture. Never would have considered drinking aloe vera, to be honest. Well, you've got to be the Aloe Vera King to drink it, right? You've got the Omega digital door lock, and of course, you know, Omega's protecting this door lock, because why would you need any kind of protection if Omega's guarding something for you, right? You've got the Queen's Cafe, and you've got Queen from Final Fantasy Type 0. You've got 2 queens, so that's why it's Queens, multiple. You've got 7. Don't mind the 11. She's blocking it. Is it Kirin from Final Fantasy Dimensions? Okay. You've got 7 from Final Fantasy Type 0. You've got the Dong Yang. Don't mind the Dong. It's just Yang from Final Fantasy 4. You've got this was on my airplane back. Yeah, this was back home. You got Bismarck right here, and you know the whale from Final Fantasy VI is just chilling, hanging out. He's one of the locations that you can go beyond. You've got the Go-Go tent. Yes, that's right, the Go-Go tent. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure what this is useful for, but you know, if you want to be a mime, I'm sure you use the Go-Go tent to help you out. You've got some sort of Terra drink, and yes, everyone's favorite heroine from Final Fantasy VI is out here selling her product. You've got the Cloud Cam. Of course, you've got the Cloud Cam. And what Cloud Cam is not useful other than, you know, Cloud in a dress. Powered by View. Of course, it's powered by View. You got the different, like, character, like, these are just other figurines that they had and that I found. You've got the Irvin Brea location, and you know I think this is in California. He said, "Oh geez." So you've got Irvin from Final Fantasy VIII, and you've got Aya Brea from Parasite Eve, just kind of hanging out next to one another. You know, I was like, "Yep, I got the perfect images for that." You got the Vivi draw. Vivi from Final Fantasy IX, of course. I'm sure they love to draw. What else we got? We've got Lululemon, everyone's favorite store. Lululemon, Cloud in the dress. I mean, if I was gonna add a Cloud to any of my images, of course he was gonna be in a dress because that's just perfect. We've got Lulu. I'm sure they've got belt dresses at Lululemon, right? Because why wouldn't they? Okay, so this is a Final Fantasy 11 reference. This says Maya right here, and this is a image of the Crag of Maya from Final Fantasy 11. So inside reference to Final Fantasy 11, but I love that game. So when I saw that, I just had to throw that in there. You've got the be careful as the floor is slippery when it rains or snows. You've got Snow from Final Fantasy 13. Not my favorite character, but I saw Snow and I just threw it in there. You've got Mont Blanc. Of course, everyone's favorite. I don't even know what he is in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. What's his race? Now I can't even think of it, but yeah, he's from Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and he's also in Final Fantasy 14. He's just a rabbit. All right, we'll go with that. Mont Blanc from 14. You've got MC Gray, Gray Fullbuster from Fairy Tail, who his race is lame. From Fairy Tail. This guy loves to take all his clothes off, but you know he doesn't mind showcasing him stuff for ads. You've got the Fuhrer from Full Metal Alchemist. This was another one I was considering just because it's just a cool figurine, but just other things trumped it. This was an RPG that I asked in the Discord what it was, and Satan actually, he pulled it up and was able to find it. I just like the artwork for it, but this is a game that I've never played on the Super Famicom. I don't believe it's translated, so I won't play it until it's translated. And it's from what they were saying in Discord, it's very basic. We were also, all the things at this store, Mandarake, super expensive. I was hoping that I'd find something cheap here. The prices were very, very high. Could not buy anything here. I definitely went to another store. This is a RPG that they were advertising in Korea. It was called The Play of Genesis. It was some sort of RPG, so I just snapped a screenshot of it. Never heard of it. It's probably like a mobile or gacha style game, but I thought it looked cool. This was in Japan. There was a giant like horn that was on the top of a building, and then when you look by, oh my god, it's Godzilla! Not RPG related, but still funny. I just figured that was probably the remnants of a Godzilla attack. That's why that horn was there. One of my favorite characters in Full Metal Alchemist is Greed and Yay. Oh man, I can't remember his name. The guy that yes, Play of Genesis as a mobile SRPG. Nice. Thanks, Tam. But yeah, I love this character in Brotherhood. Very good character. You've got some Growlancer artworks right here that I found. Also Summon Knight and other Growlancer stuff. I probably would have bought this if I had more time. Picking through stuff. You have the Garrett ice cream store or something. Garrett from Golden Sun. There wasn't a lot of good Garrett shots. That's why you got the white background online. This was cool. These were watches that they were having for sale that were Gundam related. So I was kind of interested in the red comet Char Aznable one, but I just didn't have the money for it. Some other figurines. You've got Guts in the background. You've got Kirito. You've got some I think that's Aegis right there from Persona. I believe that's Aegis. I don't recognize this girl, though she looks like she's from an RPG maybe. Tracer, yeah, these are Overwatch characters. Don't really care. What's your name from Guilty Crown? Okay. Hell's Paradise, not an RPG, but a really fun anime. I really enjoyed it, so I took that snapshot. Of course, there was a store called Dio. I think it might have been called Dior. Sword Art Online. Yeah, probably. So I just grabbed a, you know, of course, Dio's everywhere. No, you can't escape Dio. Speaking of Dio, JoJo, there was a we went to a Namco arcade shop in Japan, and there was an actual like adventure game for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is pretty cool. Not an RPG, but Jack Nicholson as the Joker. This is a really cool figurine. Like, look at this. This shit is so dope. And then a more chibi version of Jack as the Joker. You have Aqua from Kingdom Hearts. Where this was one of the aquariums we went to. We've got a little figurine for Riku from Kingdom Hearts as well. Good Smile makes lots of quality figures, expensive. Yeah, I was hoping to find cheaper stuff like in Japan, but some of those figurines were pricey. Yu Yu Hakusho, Koenma. You could try to win him in a little like a grab it kind of style game. Ben Press Store. You've got your Lelouch, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hunter x Hunter characters. Lelouch is in Super Robot Wars as a character. Hey, Famajack, we're just going over some of the pictures I snapped while I was in Japan with RPG characters in them. In Korea, they were advertising a League of Legends um tournament. So they had like all these like advertisements for League of Legends stuff. So this is Auri from League of Legends. These are just pictures I took in Japan, and they have like RPG character names in them or on them, and I superimposed some of the images into them. We have the Braun Series 3. Speaking of League of Legends, this is one of the tanks in League of Legends. He's also a character in the League of Legends RPG that I played called Ruined King. So yeah, this is the image from Braun in Ruined King. A really good tank. You've got the Tetra 20W. I don't know. I thought I saw Tetra and the instantly thought of the character from Wind Waker. Was the esports scene noticeable at all over there? So there in Korea, there was a channel dedicated to StarCraft 24/7. Like in our hotel room, like I was skimming through the channels, and one of the channels just had StarCraft, and they were just playing StarCraft the entire time. Every time I turned on the channel, it was StarCraft. They love themselves some StarCraft, right? You've got Tingle's, some sort of powder from Tingle, everyone's favorite fairy from the Zelda series. Tingle. Yeah. A whole channel dedicated to StarCraft is pretty amazing. You've got Maxim right here. I couldn't find a good picture of Maxim without like some sort of border, kind of screwing up the picture. Honestly, I don't know which StarCraft because I'm not a huge StarCraft fan. So I couldn't tell you. I do have the picture of one of the. I'll find it at the end of this because I do have a picture of the channel. So here's Maxim from Lufia 2. Here's some more figurines. Lupin. I'm a big fan of Lupin the Third, but you've got like Mario, and I think these are like Kamen Rider. You've got Case Closed here, and other stuff. There was so many figurines, so many different characters from different genres. You've got what did I take a snapshot here? You got Wonder Woman, Psylocke, Wolverine, Lupin, a Gundam, Harley Quinn. If it looked like a 90s game, it was StarCraft 1. Oh, a female Gao Gai Gear. Is that right? Is that this right here? In the middle of it all? Evangelion's right here. No one likes Evangelion. Just move on. You got Mike from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, next to Ava. Okay. All right. You've got at Toys R Us over there. Yes, they still have Toys R Us's in Japan. You've just got a whole bunch of Master Balls. But so this is how you become the very best. You just go to Toys R Us, you buy a shit ton of Master Balls, and then you don't have any problem collecting Pokemon. So, if you want to be a Pokemon collector, this is where you go. You go to the Toys R Us and you buy all the Master Balls. The Mazinger Kaiser characters, they had a lot of cool designs from them. I only really know them from Super Robot Wars, but I liked this design. You got the Mazinger Kaiser, another type right there. Also a pretty cool Venom Spider-Man shot right here. Did I even add that? That looks like I added something there. I don't think I did. That's interesting. You've got female Megatron, which is I think we talked about it in the Discord that Japan loves their like cross-gender characters. So the Decepticon leader Megatron as a female. You got My Hero. I'm not sure about the bottom one. This is not RPG related at all. This is just a hurricane, a shameless plug. I saw a dude wearing a Miami jacket, so I just threw in some hurricane symbols on this image. He said, "Boo!" He said, "Bottom was Love Live." Here's some mini medals from the Dragon Quest bar that we were at. So, that's pretty cool. I do need to get myself a MIDI medal. Here is Massimo Duty, and everyone's favorite Massimo, of course, is from Mega Man X Command Mission. You've got Clean It with Zero, of course. Zero is probably my favorite Mega Man character. So I had to throw him in here. You said I like this one. It said Mother said eat pink, so I just added Mother characters on this screenshot. I've got the Franklin badge. I've got the Starman. I've got Lucas. I've got Ness, and then I got Porky up here. This was a travel sticker of 2B. This was actually something that I forgot that I wanted to buy. I was going to go back and pick this up, and then I lost track of where I was and what I wanted to do. This is an Octopath Traveler collector's edition box set. Also, there's an Adol Christian edition for Wise Nordic. There's so many cool things that there's just so many things that I just was snapping shots of and I didn't purchase. But Octopath Traveler 2 definitely recommend. Very fun game. This is speaking of Octopath, this is a sign that said Hikari on it, and Hikari is a character from Octopath Traveler 2, so I threw his image and his little sprite onto this shot. There was a advertisement for Persona 5 Tactica while I was walking around, so I just took the picture and I added Bay onto the bottom left because Makoto is Bay. There's Airy Ash, and of course everyone's favorite Ash. I was gonna add Ash Lambert from Vandal Hearts to this, but honestly, the only shots that they had for Ash were full white background images of Ash, so I couldn't just superimpose him onto pictures. So the easier method was just to use Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. Here is a Pokemon Center in Japan. I threw in Lucario because he's my favorite. Here's another Pokemon Center, and then there's myself in anime form, hanging out and just holding a Pokeball while people are doing things. Here is some sort of game center for Pokemon. And then there's Vinny Vega, just kind of looking around. I was having some fun with some of these images, guys. Don't mind me. I'm very nerdy. They had a lot of Pokemon stuff. So I took snapshots of random Pokemon things. So they had this little central area of all the different starters, and other Pokemon that hung out. So I was just grabbing screenshots. They had Eevee and some of the other different Pokemon. Ari was the fairy from Bravely Default. Oh, I gotcha. I could have added that to that picture too. Yeah. Lots of cool artwork for Pokemon characters. So much Pokemon stuff. Japan loves their Pokemon, and I don't hate them for that because I do enjoy Pokemon. All the Eevees, some of the different characters from the original Pokemon. Look at the size difference between Pikachu and all the other giant ass Pokemon. I love this one because he's the painter Pokemon, and he's just splattering his stuff on this canvas. Here is Noah's roasting coffee and bakery, and Noah is a character from Phantasy Star. I guess kind of obscure because it's so dated, but I did find a good screen grab of Noah, so I just thought I'd throw it up there. Here are some more. These are more mechs in for like figurines, but like Big O. I think that's Getter Robot right there. You've got a couple characters that I recognize from the Super Robot Wars series, so that's why I added them. And that's Mazinger and Getter Robo right there. Voltez, yeah, Voltez. Here's the Scorpion King. I can't believe they had like multiple figures of The Rock and like random Batman stuff. I just had to grab screenshots of that. These are just this is what basically what I bought in from like all these different stores. I bought a lot of amiibos. I bought a Mr. Saturn from Earthbound. I had a sticker that I put on one of my Switches that is just basically this Triforce of Link. They had a little Super Mario RPG like little pamphlet. They had a Luigi pin that I've added to my corkboard, and then of course the guest Spence like Tam was talking about. So that was some of the stuff that I grabbed. That's the Genesis of War RPG that Tam was talking about. Atelier Ryza, they had a figurine for her. If I had played this game, I would have been more inclined to buy something like this, but I had never played this. Also, there's an Escaflowne down there. I have an Escaflowne figurine, but I have one that came with the box set, so it's different than this one. But Ryza, she seems to be a fan favorite. Here is the Lot Mall that we hung out with and we're walking around with a lot. Lot is a character from Suikoden, so I added her onto this image. This is just me grabbing. I couldn't think of a good character named Sam in an RPG, but we do have a RP Gamer staff member named Sam, so I took this screenshot. I don't know if I even sent it to her. Now that I think about it. Here is the Scar cover spot patch. So of course I had to throw my own little avatar on here for the Care Plus, the Scar cover patch, of course, you know. I love to cover patches. This is Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in Seven. Pretty cool figurines, not RPG related, but I just thought I'd just grab this screenshot. Gong Cha, Samwise, yo, that's right. Initially I was going to add a Samwise shot to that, and then I forgot. So that's a good call out, Fez. I need to update that image. Good call out. This is a character from Shining Force 1. Gong. He is a monk that you get early on, and then he upgrades to this form. I wanted to get his pre-evolved form, but I couldn't get any good images of that, so I grabbed the only one that I could on that I found online. Master Monk, yeah. This is the Max Chip, and speaking of Shining Force, Yep, Samwise. Yeah, you both are right, Hendy. This is Max from Shining Force, the Max Chip. A Saga Frontier. I guess this is just like a promotional artwork for it. Very cool. I believe this is Red and Blue fighting each other. No, I'm sorry, not Red and Blue. It's Blue and Rouge, which is his brother. Red is another character. So speaking of Saga Frontier, we went to this place in Korea, and it was like a cooking contest, and we have the blue side, So up above, we've got blue from Saga Frontier, and then below we've got the red side. So we've got red from Saga Frontier. So I saw this image and I was like, I could probably do something fun with those two characters from Saga Frontier on here. So I'm sorry for the people that are actually behind these images, but you know, it is what it is. Speaking of Saga Frontier, this is the White Rose perfumed cream. White Rose is a character from Saga Frontier. I was very surprised that they had good artwork for the White Rose character online. So when I found this, I was like, yes, let me just grab the screenshot, let me take the picture, and then let me add her onto this. Yeah, she is very pretty. And she is part of the Acellus storyline, which is probably the most tragic storyline in Saga Frontier, if anyone's curious. You've got Sharon the Wanderer right here. I was very happy to see a Sharon the Wanderer, like just like little image, like little character sprite. We had I think right when I had left for Japan, we had just beaten the Super Nintendo Sharon the Wanderer game. Didn't they remaster this recently? Probably why you can't find. Yeah, they did. They did remaster Saga Frontier 1 recently. Yes, you are correct. This is some Shrek characters that I found. Not RPG related, but still pretty cool. So you've got all the different Shrek characters, Puss in Boots, Donkey, you know, all of them. You've got Lena's. Honestly, Japan, there was a lot of Slayer's artwork and paraphernalia posted White Rose cosplay. Nice. So yeah, this is Lena's. This is like a cafe, and excuse me. You know, I had to throw in our favorite magician, anime magician, on here. Everyone loves Lena from Slayers. Like I said, like this was just something I randomly found while shopping around. This is another Slayers image I saw. They love their Slayers. This was a store called Mac. I thought I knew more characters from that were named Mac that were in RPGs, and the only one I can think of was the guy from Super Mario RPG. He was on the little sword pogo stick named Mac, so I threw him on here. You've got Peach drink right here, and of course, you know, Princess Peach from Super Mario RPG and other adventures. There were some advertisements for Super Mario RPG. It was, you know, I think it had just come out at the time, so they were definitely advertising the hell out of it. This was at like convenience stores and whatnot, so it's pretty cool. You've got the Alice shop, and I instantly thought of Alice from Shin Megami Tensei, so you know, I threw her image. I actually saw some pretty cool images of Alice online, and this was the best one I found from the SMT series. He said some more RPG stuff. You have like Star Ocean, Super Mario RPG stuff right here. So lots of cool imaging. I think this was at Toys R Us. You've got the Rena restaurant. So Rena from Star Ocean 2, which I just beat recently. Fun game. The nostalgia goggles are something fierce, because I thought I enjoyed Star Ocean 2 a lot more than I initially did. It's still a fun game, but the story is very, very basic. But it's still a fun game. The remake is fun. I enjoyed it. But the character interactions are great. I love how they're integrated with the private actions. But yeah, the story just takes a back seat to everything. More Star Ocean stuff. You got Kevin Sorbo from Hercules. One of my favorite Herculeses. I enjoyed the series when I was a little kid. I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know if it'll hold up, you know, the test of time, but I do have fond memories of it. You've got the Leonidas bar right here, so not RPG related, but King Leonidas from 300. Good shot of him. I missed out on that show along with Xena. See, I wasn't the biggest Xena fan, but I liked Hercules. And when Xena showed up in Hercules, I tolerated her. This is one of my favorite shots. It's the Gordon Ramsay burger, and you've got Gordon from Suikoden just kind of chilling out. He's just like sitting, staring at the burger joint. He's got like a foot on someone's head, and he's just like staring at the spot. I could have probably put another, like, I think there's some Ramsay characters in RPGs. The one I can think of is Ramsay from Skies of Arcadia. I could have probably put him up here, just like hating life, because he's a very loathsome character. But Gordon from Suikoden, gotta love it. It's good stuff. You've got Lily from Suikoden 3. The Love Call edition. Lily the Pendragon, she's a cool character. You've got the right here, the seed oil. So I've got Seed from Suikoden 2 right next to the seed oil. I think initially I took this picture thinking I knew of a character named Carrot from an RPG, and then when I couldn't think of it, then I pivoted and I saw the seed. And I was like, you know what? We're just gonna throw a seed on there. Another snow reference. We got the Korean snowflakes. We've got snow from Suikoden 4. Not my favorite snow. Also, neither one is my favorite snow. But you know what? I needed to add images, so I did. We've got Windows. This is another Suikoden character. So he's the one in Suikoden 1. I know Carrot from an anime. Okay. He's the one that changes your like window, like the overlay of your window, and you can send him new window screens and he'll update them for you. Here's the, speaking of Tam, this is the Tam's drink that I found in Japan. I think I sent this to him. So Tam Zero. You got the Sistina Chic and Affordable. This is not how you spell Sistina, but Sistina from Tactics Ogre. I threw her on here, and I thought it was a cool shot. What else we got? We got Tales of Arise. That's the one that I saw that I wanted to grab the image of. I think we've got My Hero, Bleach, The Slime, Tails, Demon Slayer, not sure this one, Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Lelouch. Is this Sword Art Online? Is that the girl from Sword Art Online? I don't really know. But otherwise, I grabbed this for the Alphen character. No? Do you recognize her, Tim? I don't. I recognize all the other characters except for her, basically. Doesn't look like here, but I don't know who she is. Okay. Anyways, we've got the plush Velvet. Speaking of Tails characters, we've got Velvet from Tales of Berseria. Pretty cool character. I really liked Tales of Berseria. No, I don't recognize her either. Some sort of military uniform, it looks like. Could be Idol Project. Okay. Yeah. I didn't recognize her. I recognized everyone else but her. We've got the chat capsule something or another. Chat from, I want to say she's from Tales of Destiny 2. I haven't played the game Chat's in, but I knew that there is a chat character in a Tales game. You've got the Keels something or another, and Keel is from Tales of Destiny 2, also known as Tales of Eternia. Some idle franchise, but no idea beyond that. Yeah, he's not. This is not how you spell his name, but that's how I pronounced it, and that's what I thought of when I took the picture. You've got Chloe. Speaking of Tales characters, so I guess we've reached the Tales section of these pictures. Chloe from Tales of Legendia. You've got the Mint tablets. Mint from Tales of Fantasia, which we played on the channel. You've got the Big Guy's Lobster. So I just threw a big image of Guy from Tales of the Abyss onto here. Voiced by one of my favorite voice actors in anime, Johnny Young Bosch, also known as the Black Ranger in Power Rangers. You've got the Edelweiss. I'm not even sure what this was advertising, because I definitely put a big ass image of the tank from Valkyria Chronicles right here. Like I said, I was having fun, man. I was having fun. We've got the Jun by Jun. So, Fez, this will entertain you. This is Jun from Valkyrie Profile right here. This was probably my only Valkyrie Profile image that I could think of. So I had to put him going down the escalator and then taking the image right by the store. Honestly, Fez, when I took this picture, I knew that you and your brother would really appreciate this shot. Judd was a baller. I knew you guys would appreciate it. And Tam is playing through Valkyrie Profile again on the channel, so we might get to see John again on the channel. Where's Wind at? Where's my boy Wind at? This was I just saw Wind Resistance. I took a screenshot of the cacdab that he created, and I put it on there for him because Wind's awesome. Wizardry. This is a cool shot. Dragon Slayer. There was a lot of cool OSTs and other soundtrack stuff that I saw there. This is a store called Hunter, so I put a World of Warcraft Hunter on here. Very, very. This is pretty simple, right? Hunter, put a Hunter from like some sort of MMO, right? This is the APA Hotel. So when I saw APA Hotel, the first thing I thought of was the Acolyte Protection Agency. So if you guys aren't familiar with the wrestlers known as the Acolytes, they're also known as the APA. So I threw Farouk and Bradshaw onto this image, and this just made me giggle. I had a lot of fun taking some of these dumb shots. It is what it is. You've got the A-Rex right here. So you've got A-Rex up above. You've got A-Rex down below. You've got a couple of Rexes cutting it up in this image. Honestly, I gotta say, I haven't played the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, but like if Rex can go from this dork to this, that's a pretty good glow up, as all things considered, So maybe I need to just play it just to see how Rex is in the future state. But yeah, that's the A-Rex. It was like a little train that was driving by, and I was like, yep, let me grab a shot of that. You've got the Jin bike. So not my favorite character. I think Xeno Saga Episode 2 is pretty lame, but I did throw a shot of Jin right here. And yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that. I had sent this image while I was in Japan, but basically I found an empty lot in Japan, and the first thing that came to my mind was Yakuza, and that's basically how Yakuza 0 starts, is with an empty lot. So I just added Kiryu to the empty lot, and then I just threw it onto here because that's basically how the game starts. That's how 0 is. It begins with an empty lot, and then Kiryu just whoops ass after that. You've got Dogi from Ease. Oh my god, so many thugs trying to fight you. Everyone's favorite male compatriot, Dogi. You've got another Ease advertisement. So, they were loving it. Okay, that's the end of the images. So yeah. That was basically what I was doing. That was just basically me doing this on the side while everyone else was enjoying Japan. I was kind of taking side screenshots. Yeah, end of the show. That's the last image.